Hi, I'm Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. It's me, Paco, of course, or if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up. I'm doing bulk filming, so if you notice I'm in the same outfit, same vibe, we're not going to say anything. But let's get started with the video. So, in the month of September, I read a total of 8 books in September. I read 4 of them physically, 2 digitally, 3 audibly listened to audiobooks. 2 of them were 3 stars, 4 of them were 4 stars, and 2 of them were 5 stars. Really good month of rating wise. Of the genres, or like the age range, I did 1. 3 of them were young adult. Looking at my journal right here. 3 of them were young adult. 2 comic bind-ups. 3 were adult age range, and most of them were fantasy. I did read 1 Dark Academia book. And yeah, so we're going to get into the books. So we're going to talk about the 2 comics I read first. So the first one I read was Justice League Dark. I believe it is, the volume title is called, you think I'd be more prepared? Justice League Dark, The Great Wickedness by Ram V, right? It's a good thing to have my journal right here to look it up. By Ram V. This is the start of a new arc for Justice League Dark, because when this current run started, the main threat was the Upside Down Man, a eldritch horror-like creature that was trying to devour magic. He was defeated in the last volume, and so now we get a new villain, and this villain is Merlin. This is a big change up because this happened right after Dark Knight's Metal. So Diana's out of the picture, and Zatanna has to kind of step up and lead, and she's keeping secrets, and it's just like the team has shifted a little bit. Like Ragman joins the team. Really fun, really enjoyed this. Excited for the brand new arc to see where it goes. I really love Zatanna, so I want to see more of her and where her arc is going. And Constantine did some fucked up shit in this book. Like, I get why he did it, but he did Zatanna dirty in this one. And like, Etrigan's in it, and I love Etrigan. So this was a 4-star read. The art was amazing too. Okay, then the next book I read was, we're just going in order, books I finished. Next books I finished in September was Lobinoza by Romina Garber. So this book is about our main character. Her name is, because it's been a minute, Manuela. She is a undocumented citizen from Argentina, and she is living with her mother, who is also undocumented. But there's something different about Manuela. She has, like, her eyes are basically like stars. They're shaped differently, and they are, like, very bright. And so she has always been in hiding with her mom. Her mom will, like, go to work, but she has to stay inside with this old lady they live with, and she can't be seen or whatever, because apparently her dad's family, who's out of the picture, wants her dead, from what she knows from her mom. Well, one day, her mom gets taken by ICE, because, like, you know, we will all say this, fuck ICE. She gets taken by ICE, and Emmanuel goes on the run. And she basically finds out this whole magic community that she's a part of somehow. And there's witches, brujas, and lobinozos, werewolves. And she gets entwined in it, and she discovers she is something in this world. And it was really good. I mean, from the title, you could tell she's a lobinoza, which is like female werewolf, which is something that is not normal in this world. This community is very gendered and stuff like that, and so it talks a lot about gender and stuff. It talks a lot about undocumentation and stuff, and it was really good. I really enjoyed this. It took me a while to get into, because I kind of started it during a reading slump, but once I got, like, into the magic and stuff, it was really good. I'm excited to read the sequel. So the next book. Let me go to my journal. That I read was The Stardust Thief. I listened to this digitally. I mean, not digitally. I listened to the audiobook. This is the Fairy Late edition. But this book is about 3 characters. Well, 4 technically, but we get 3 POVs. They are Louis, or Lua, I think is her name. Basically, we follow a thief, like a merchant, a midnight merchant who she sells magical items. We follow a prince, and we follow a member of the 40 thieves that are hired and forced to find a magical relic for the Sultan. And this is a retelling of what is it a retelling of? My mind. 1001 Nights. It's inspired by stories from 1001 Nights, and it is really good. I really enjoyed it. I liked the prince character. He was really fun. I loved our thief character really well. I read this like in the beginning of the month, so that's why I can't remember characters' names. I will be reading the sequel when it comes out. I really enjoyed the fantasy aspect. It was fun. I love reading about the djinn, so this is another book with djinn in it. And it was really fun. The characters were awesome. There was death magic. Someone has death magic in it, and I love death magic. So yeah. What else can I say? The character dynamics were fun. It was fun. How many times did I say that? You guys count and comment. Let's see. Okay. Next book is one of my favorite books of the year. Already can tell you that. It was The Sunbear Trials by Aiden Thomas. I mean, I'm biased because I love Aiden Thomas's books, but I already had high expectations for this book, and this book still somehow blew them all away. This book, if you do not know, is about Theo. Theo, he is a semidosa, so he is the son of a dios, which is the gods of this world. He is the son of Quetzal, the dios of birds, and he has a jade, so it's like there's different categories of dioses, golds, jade, and obsidians, and every generation there is a challenge, the Sunbear Trials, where 10 semidoses compete in a contest to find who's going to be the sun bearer, and the loser, like the one who gets last place of the 10, is sacrificed to keep the sun going and keep out the obsidian dioses that were basically like banished. And most of the time, every year, it's always golds, like the strongest of the strong that compete. And Theo's big concern is his friend Naili being chosen, because he's a jade. He's not worried about it. He's just like tired of the golds shit. But he's picked this year, so he is one of the 2 jades that are picked, and he's like, oh shit, now I've got to try in these contests. This is a really awesome book, full of Mexican culture. It's inspired by it's a fantasy world with created gods, inspired by Mexican culture, and I really enjoyed it. The dioses were really fun. The characters are amazing. Theo and Aurelio are my children. I love them. I am like, that is a couple that was so cute as a slow burn couple in this book. Loved it. I loved all the characters. They were really fun. Really diverse cast as well. Like, you had non-binary characters. Theo himself was trans. You had queerness was just everywhere. You had deaf representation, which was really good. Like, this book is just amazing. This cover is amazing. I am so excited. I need the sequel, like, now. I am so upset I don't have the sequel. I mean, it's not written, but it's so good. It's so good. Oh, so good. Like, there's so many scenes that I'm just like, I'm excited for this duology, the sequel. Okay. So the next book I read in September was, you think I would stop shutting this book, but it was Deal with the Elf King by Elisa Kova. So this book is about our girl, what is her name? She's really nice over here. Oh, it says back good. Okay. Our main character, Luella. So Luella lives in this place that is really close to the, like, magical kingdom. Like, they're, like, through the forest, down the river, and through the woods, apart from the magic kingdom. And every couple years, every, like, 100 years, a human queen is chosen. And the human queens all have magic. That is how they are known. They'd be the human queen. And they are chosen to marry the elf king. And they have to live over with the elves and stuff. And this year, Luella is chosen, and she is unprepared to be chosen because of some fuckery shit that will be explained. It's explained in a couple chapters. But it was good. The romance, because this is a romance book, of course, I was not the biggest fan of because it didn't have enough longing. And the fact that, like, she couldn't tell that the guy was into her was really like, come on, girl. Come on, girl. He's, like, clearly into you. And so, like, the stubbornness really got me. I like the magic and the world, so I'm going to continue with this series. I'm going to put it down because I'm tired of holding it. But, I'm going to continue with it. it just, I'm hoping that I like the next couples in the next 2 books more. Because, I don't know, like, there wasn't enough pining for me. And if you know anything about me, I love pining. And, like, oh, yeah. I'm just, like, a 3.5 stars. Oh, I didn't say it already about ratings. 3.5. 5 stars. 4 stars. And Lobby knows it is 4 stars. Yeah. Okay. Next book I read is a book I don't have, but I will have soon because Princess is sending it to me. Thank you, Princess. I read it for Princess's book club, and that is Babel, or A Necessity of Violence. I actually wrote the full title in the Babel, or the Necessity of Violence in an Arcane History of the Oxford Translator Revolution. This book, okay, my only other only other dark academia, like, book I've read, technical, like, was Ninth House, and I love Ninth House. So, but I still wasn't sure about dark academia as a vibe for me. I love this book. 5 stars. So, this book is about Robin, who, at a young age, he is taken from Canton, and by this professor after his family dies of a disease that the white man brought to China. But he is taken in by this professor and, like, shipped to London and trained to be a translator so that he can one day attend the prestigious School of Babel at Oxford. And it is his growing up. You see him grow up, you see him go to Oxford, and you see him have to deal and cope with being a instrument of colonialism while also being a victim of colonialism. It talks a lot about, like, how evil colonialism is in the book, in academia, and it gives us, and the, like, power of, like, translation and language and stuff. Like, I really enjoyed this book. I think the characters are amazing. I loved Robin. I loved Victoria, and I loved just, it was so good. Like, I was crying. Like, I was, like, asking the other people in the club, the book club, like, have you read it? Have you read it? Have you read it? Did you get to the end? Because I need to discuss this with people. Like, I'm still thinking about the ending to this day. I was at work listening to it, and I'm like, and so, 5 stars. Amazing. Like, great book. I'm excited to get more into Arf Kwong. This is my first Arf Kwong book. I will eventually read The Poppy War. Was I supposed to read The Poppy War this month? Was I supposed to read it last month? Did I get to it? No, we're not going to ask questions of how I got busy. God damn. Okay, next book was Fevered Star by Rebecca Warren Horace. This is the sequel to Black Sun, and I'll just, like, the description of Black Sun is basically inspired by indigenous culture, like pre-Columbian America, pre-colonial America, that's the word I'm looking for. It is a fantasy world and everything like that, and Black Sun is about Serfo, who is he has the crow god living inside of him, is being sent to Tova, the city where the sun priests live, to get revenge for shenanigans that ensue. And this book was really good. This takes place after it. Of course, it's a sequel. Don't want to get into too spoilers. But all I gotta say, this book felt like it opened up the world more to me. I felt like I understood it a lot more. I really enjoyed Black Sun. Black Sun was 5 stars. This was 4.5 because I do see why people say that this book does give very middle book syndrome. But it was still really good. It opened up the world a lot more. Like, when I read Black Sun, I gave it 5 stars, really enjoyed it, but I only really cared about Serafo and Zyla. But this book made me care about Narapa, which is, like, so good that a book is able to make me care about a character I did not like in the first book. And so I really liked it. I'm even growing accustomed to the cover. Like, it's still not as beautiful as the first book, but it makes sense why this is the cover, and it had one of my favorite powers in a book. Like, fantasy powers. Oh my god, Raina just decided to lay by me. But I really enjoyed it. 4.5 stars. I'm excited for the 3rd book coming out next year. Read it. If you haven't read it yet, read it. Because, like, I know a lot of people have read Black Sun, but a lot of the people haven't read Fever Star, and I need to discuss what happened at this book. So, like, this is me telling my friends who are watching this video who's read Black Sun, you know who you are. Read it. Here. Read it. Okay. The next book I read was Batman Volume 1, Court of Owls by Scott Snyder. I started this on Batman Day because I went to the movies and it was Batman Day, so they were showing like classic Batman movies, and I was like, you know what, let me give you the vibe. It's setting up the spooky like kind of vibes for this comic. It was, so basically, this is the first Batman volume in the New 52 run by Scott Snyder. And Greg Capullo, I think, is the artist on this. Like, their iconic run. And, I say iconic because, like, everybody I know that talks, like, in the comic book community that I watch loves this run, so. And so, basically, this is about a murder that happens in Gotham that Batman, of course, is investigating. And when he gets there, he finds a message saying Bruce Wayne is next. And he's like, what do you mean by Bruce Wayne? Like, so he basically goes and starts researching, and we find about this, like, old urban legend that Gotham has called the Court of Owls, about, like, a secret group of rich people that run Gotham from behind the scenes, and they're assassins, the Talons, and it's interesting because, like, what hunts bats? Owls, and it was really good. It was really creepy and dark, and, like, there's a scene where Batman's lost in this, like, labyrinth that is kind of really terrifying. And it's just interesting to, like, the groundwork and the, like, legend building of Gotham is really fun in this. I gave it 3 stars. Will I continue the run? Maybe. We'll see. I am a Batman fan, but I prefer the Bat family over Batman. So we shall see. I lost my mental train of thought. Okay. Last book I read this month was Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a spin-off series of the book series A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This follows one of the characters we meet in that trilogy and his, like, adventures. And it was really good. I enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to. Like, I was really looking more forward to the sequel to Defy the Night than I was this. But I wanted to check it out because I'd, like, seen some things and I was interested. But basically, so this book follows 2 characters, well, 3, besides the character we met from the last book. It's hard to talk about this book without spoiling the last series. But basically, this follows 2 characters, Jax and Caitlin. They are 2 poor, poor because they're from a small village. Jax is a blacksmith's son, and Caitlin owns a bakery that her father owned before he died, and she's running it, and she's trying to take care of her sister. But they are, like, 2 people who are very poor, so they don't know anything about the political machinations of the series. Almost dropped that. I'm gonna put it down now. But, they don't know anything about the political machinations that have been happening in the series, and it is interesting. And then they get involved in it. Like, there is conspiracy, there is political intrigue in this book. And I'm trying to say the best I can without spoiling the other trilogy, which I really enjoyed, even though the ending was not my favorite. So I enjoyed this because this deals with a lot of the loose ends in that trilogy. But yeah, so I'm trying to say what I could say. I'll say the things I enjoyed about it. I really enjoyed the thing about Bridget Kemmerer's books is the viewpoint, the way a character is seen, I think is really interesting in this book. In her series, especially this one, is how a character is viewed. Because we have, this is the second time in her book series where the main character shifted. Because in the first book, it was these 2 main couple. And then it shifts in the second book. And so we see the main couple with different viewpoints of it. Like, we see their flaws and stuff. One character's flaws that we really didn't get to see in the first book because it was, like, blindfold on almost. And so with this book, they do it again. And it's just really interesting. I like that how she does that. She, is not afraid to make her characters look bad. Her, main characters look bad. It's we really get to see their flaws. We really get to see the issues that these characters have, how they're not perfect, they're humans, and how it all does, perspective is a matter of opinion. Someone's perspective of you is different. So I really like that about her writing, and I am excited to get more into the series. I was not looking forward to this series as much as I was looking forward to Defy the Night, but I think I'm liking this one more. We shall see. Also, there was really, I love the romance between Jax and the other character. It was really good. It was queer, so... But it was good. It was written good. I enjoyed it. There was one character that I wanted to, slap the fuck out of her. Not, I hate you, I want to slap the fuck out of you, is more like, girl, get some sense. Like, like, not a hate slap, but just like, not like a slap, but just like, come on, like, you see things, like, oh. Okay, so that is all the books I read in September. What did you guys read in September? What was your favorite read? My favorite read, oh, it's tough. Some Bear Trials, but Babel. Some Bear Trials, but Babel. I'm still thinking about both books. Like, there's scenes in Babel that I'm like, scenes of Sun Bear Trials. I'm like, My dog is looking at me like I'm crazy, y'all. Help me. But, okay. I will see you guys next time. You know me. I post new videos every Wednesday, vlogs, and regular videos every Friday. I try to do reading sprints Mondays. We'll see with, how that works because the season is starting up. And I'm wearing this, like, Halloween sweater that I got at Disneyland. Okay. I'll see you guys later.